There are 7 things that the Colorado football team needs to do this season in order for them to be successful. Here they are. In order for Colorado to be a contender for the national championship and also just even get to a bowl game, from my own personal opinion, I do seriously think they need strong leadership. What I mean by that is effective leadership from the coaching staff is certainly going to be crucial in guiding the team and also in instilling a winning mindset. And I think based on the leadership of Coach Prime and also the new coaching staff that he has brought in. They've all already started to implement that winning mindset. And as Coach Prime will always say, the standard is the standard, and he's certainly not going to change it for anyone. The second thing is talent and depth. And if you know, this past off season, the Colorado Buffaloes scouting team has done a good job in recruiting a lot of talented players from all over the country, bringing in the number one recruit in Justin Jordan Seaton, and also bringing in players like the Twins, the Webster Twins, Preston Arch, just to name a few. So they definitely have depth and talent in all across the team. So that's definitely a good thing that will definitely set them up for success going forward this season. And also the third thing is cohesive team chemistry, right? If you notice, last year when when Coach Prime and his team came to Colorado, and when he inherited a 1-11 team and started to build his own team from scratch, everything feels rushed, right? And the team never really had the opportunity to sort of like jive and sort of like bond and build that seamless, unforced friendship, if you can put it that way. So this year, there's something that they've been doing well is making sure that there's that opportunity for the team to bond and just sort of become friends and become a family by themselves without the coaches encouraging them to do so. I think the team has really found it in themselves to say, hey, we're going to take it upon ourselves to make sure that we develop that close-knit relationship with one another. So that way, we can become a family. As we all know, a team that becomes a family and can bond together definitely position themselves for success come later on in the season. The fourth thing is strategic game planning, right? So developing a sound game plan that tailors to the strength of the team while exploiting the weakness of the opponent is certainly going to secure them from some victories. If you notice, last year's team, they had a lot of talent on that team, but for some reason they just couldn't design plays to sort of like make those talents shine and put them in position for success, right? So because and if they are able to do that this year, which I believe with the new defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator, that they brought on in Pat Sherman and all these years of experience, they'll be able to use those talents that they've recruited and say, hey, where do we need to place you in order for you to have the ultimate success? And when they have individual success, then it can also then translate to team success. Like Coach Prime always say, there's I in win, right? So you have to be better and have success individually, and then that translates collectively as a team. The fifth one is discipline and execution. So it's important for them throughout this year, as much as there's going to be a lot of media attention on them as they start to win, which I'm pretty sure they're going to win a lot of games. They need to be disciplined and also they need to execute both on and off the field, right? And they need to find a way to just like push aside those distractions and focus on the goal and make the main thing the main thing. So if you notice last year, they had a lot of mental errors like penalties during the games and also stuff like that. So they need to make sure this year they limit all the penalties that cost them a lot of games last year. They need to do away with those errors this year, and also in preparation and make sure as they prepare they're able to execute. Because if the Colorado Buffaloes are able to execute, whew, I feel bad for anyone that will be facing them this year. The sixth one is being able to be adaptable, adaptability and being able to be resilient, right? Because one thing that we noticed last year was they were sort of rigid in their play structure, and they were not agile, and they couldn't adapt. And when teams found their weakness, they just kept capitalizing on it, and the Buffaloes couldn't really pivot and sort of like adapt and cover those weaknesses, and also just being able to bounce back from setbacks, right, and adversity, right. Last year they had a stretch at the beginning of the season where they were successful, right, and for some reason I think those gentlemen thought that was going to be their story going forward for the rest of the season. And as adversity started to hit, right, they didn't really do a good job of being adaptable and being resilient to those adversities and bouncing back. So this year they certainly need to do a better job of bouncing back and understanding that it is okay and adversity is going to hit them, right? It's how they overcome it that matters, right? And also the seventh thing that I believe will position them for success, to either a bowl game or a national championship this year is fan support. And as we all know, Colorado has fan support. Thanks to the great work that their in-house media team is doing, and also their external media team like Bucky, Reach the People, and also the pregame show, and also medias like DMVR, and so on and so forth. So the fan support is something that the Colorado Buffaloes do not lack. Therefore, I think that's going to be really, really important for them to be successful going forward. Right? And all the media attention once they start to win will definitely increase the fan support. So there you have it. The 7 things that the Colorado Buffaloes need to do this year to be successful.